Pretty good. How are you?
Sorry, I was under the impression I was meeting with a client named Daniel, and obviously you are not him.
Oh,
So I didn't get a chance to read what you wrote. What are we talking about today? I apologize
oh,
for that.
no worries. Let's see. I think you were corresponding with an associate of mine. Uh, I think it was Rachel that you were corresponding with, and she thought it might be a good idea for us to get together. So I was looking at your profile and noticed some of the things that you do working with business owners.
Okay.
I do small business coaching and consulting, uh, mentoring, investing, that kind of stuff, and thought, hey, it looks like there might be some opportunity for some really good synergy.
Okay.
So I'd love to know more about what you do. I'm just going off of your Facebook profile, so I can only gather so much, but definitely would love to learn more about what it is that you do and whether that might be benefit to my clients, how I could send clients your way, or whatever we might come up with.
Okay. Actually, two things we might be able to help each other. One is the way you said exchanging clients. Um, to give you some background, I started my first construction business when I was 17 years old, developed that to 22 different franchises, made my first million before I was 25, been consulting, management consulting, for the past 40 years. We've helped over 1,000 companies go from either zero to million to 20 million. Sorry, 20 million. So we design business blueprint, aggressive marketing systems, branding, differentiation, and so on. Most of my clients are in the construction renovation space. My sweet spot is 1 to 10 million, basically.
Okay.
Um, and I also belong to a CEO club where we have every Friday we have companies coming in that have unique problems, usually revolving around money. So we're currently trying to finance four companies between 25 million to 300 million.
Wow.
Uh, these are multinational companies in some cases. In other cases, they're incubator that bring in quite a few different companies. Um, and we could use some more help from someone like you, assuming you are who I think you are. Um, let's hear more about you.
Okay.
What kind of companies do you normally work with?
So primarily I work with consumer services type of companies, and that ranges. The size of the businesses I work with are a little bit smaller than yours. The largest company I work with right now is a construction company that's about 3 million. Otherwise, the companies I work with are usually below half a million,
Okay.
typically.
So we're in the
So
startup stage, basically.
well, some of them have been around for a while. They're clicking along. So what I help them do is actually grow it into something that's actually more sustainable. Because a lot of times, yeah, as you say, the founder is still very active in keeping the business running. They may be past startup stage, but they certainly aren't to a self-sustaining stage yet.
Okay.
Uh, so I help them get to that stage. And the big thing that we talk about is what their exit strategy is going to be from the business someday in the future. But step one is to make the business self-sustainable.
Okay. In what space? Renovations or actual construction?
So for that company, they do a lot of renovation and remodeling.
Okay.
Yeah, rehab of historical spaces, and yeah.
I see. Okay. And how long have you been in the industry?
So I've been doing coaching and consulting now for about 4 years.
4 years. Okay. And where are your clients coming from?
My clients are coming from getting out, networking, meeting people face to face, potentially getting a chance to give a presentation, and that's when they choose to sit down and talk with me further.
Okay. So you're now using Facebook groups or LinkedIn?
Um, I've been using LinkedIn primarily to try to reach out to people. That's one of the things that Rachel helps me with. So she was reaching out on Facebook as well to connect to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I would say LinkedIn should be your main source.
Hmm. It has
Um,
been. Yeah.
when I was on LinkedIn, when I was on LinkedIn, and by the way,
I notice you're not.
yeah, I've been booted out 8 times.
Oh, wow.
Freedom of speech, human trafficking. Apparently, that goes against community standards.
Oh,
So they booted me out with 127,000 connections. I figured there's no way you're going to boot me out. Sure enough, they did 8 times. So each time I try and start a profile, even with a completely different name, the algorithm finds me and boots me within about 2 weeks. So
wow.
I'm banned for life.
Wow.
So 100% of my new clients were coming in from LinkedIn, and I had a pretty sweet. I didn't have to search for clients. I was just sitting back and I could, get all the clients that I needed. So now I'm trying to reinvent myself on Facebook,
Okay.
which is a hell of a lot tougher on Facebook.
Yeah.
The professionalism is not the same.
Hmm.
Yeah. But for the types of clients that you're looking for, the $500,000 space, I would say Facebook should be your number one spot.
Okay.
Because LinkedIn, they tend to be, the 5 or 3 to 20 million range. At least that's where I was getting. I had a few clients in the 100 million range in the construction space.
Okay.
So if you're trying to stay, in the 500 range, I would say Facebook groups is your best bet.
Interesting.
And I would
Okay.
split my time between, 50% on Facebook groups and 50% on LinkedIn.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that LinkedIn Sales Navigator is pretty cool.
Yeah, I never used Sales Navigator and never had to.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
It'd
I
be nice
never,
if Facebook had something similar, but
yeah,
it's not their focus. It's not
yeah,
what they were built to do.
yeah. It's definitely not their focus. They don't even make it easy.
No.
It's one of the hardest platforms, and nobody writes a profile on Facebook. Very rarely do you have
Mhm.
a website or contact information or anything. You don't even know what space they're in, right?
Right.
It's really frustrating on Facebook.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yep.
No, you make a really good point, though. A lot of my target audience, the consumer services, are probably looking for their clients on Facebook. So, yeah, that's probably where a lot of my clients would be then.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, two groups I would recommend, Construction Pros and Construction Fail, Fun Fail, I think it is. And I'm an administrator on that group, Construction
Okay.
Fun Fail. Yeah. Those are the only groups in the construction space that really make sense. And the beautiful thing about Facebook groups is the engagement is 10 times greater than LinkedIn. LinkedIn groups is all about self-promotion.
Yeah.
It's horrible trying to get engagement in groups. But there's painting groups that on Facebook that are engaging. So in terms of engagement, it's better on Facebook than LinkedIn.
Okay.
So
Okay. Good
be
to know.
choosy in what you post on Facebook because you will be booted off groups faster than you
Yeah.
can think.
Yeah.
So sorry, I just came back from a Costco trip.
Okay.
Yeah, it's impossible to get out of there under $300. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, and I thought I saw you're in Florida. Is that right?
No, I have
Oh,
clients
oh,
in Florida.
oh, okay. Maybe I'm making that up. Okay.
Yeah. I have a client in Florida who does $150,000 bathrooms average.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Those would be some nice bathrooms.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, what is there a possibility? What could we do to collaborate? I mean, first of all, step one, I wanted to get to know you. I wanted to find out what you were up to.
Besides getting into trouble. Yeah. Yeah, we also hire a lot of VAs, virtual assistants, social
Mhm,
media managers for our
mhm.
clients. We hire between 5 and 10 per month, and we train them um, for our clients. Because
Wow.
I find most people are dependent on pay per click. And
Hmm.
to me, pay per click is like putting your company on crack,
Right.
right? And again, when you go to Facebook groups, all they talk about, if they are doing advertising, it's pay per click.
Yeah.
95% of the time. Most of them just work referrals, which means the business is not growing,
Right.
right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I would love
Okay.
to work on some sort of a referral system. I'll pay you, let's say, 8 or 10% referral fee.
Okay.
Um, I could always use more clients. I used to have a staff of 15 when I had a LinkedIn account. Um, but I'm down to 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how much of a difference. It's costing me millions of dollars. Let's put it that
Wow.
way. Yeah.
Wow. Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Um,
I felt that I had to do it. So
yeah. Oh, that company size that you mentioned was kind of your sweet spot, is above what I tend to work with. So yeah, happy to send them your direction.
yeah, or even I mean, we work with a lot of startups. A lot of times we're working with people who have a full-time job and we're designing the
Mm.
business blueprint. We're
Okay.
starting the company for them. And when they can double or equal their salary, then they jump over full-time.
Sure.
So we've done that a number of times.
Okay.
One is at 27 million now, and the other one is at 65 million, both in the roofing industry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, in case they're interested, I happen to know there's a roofing company in Iowa that's up for sale.
Okay.
If they wanted to expand.
Okay. Tell me more about this company because
Oh,
we often get people reaching out to us.
yeah. Not that I know a whole lot about it. I'm good friends with a business broker up here.
Okay.
So I know that he's got a roofing company listed, and the website is krbb.com is the business brokerage.
Okay. .com.
Yeah. I know the listing is on his website.
Okay.
And I think this is a roofing company, if I understand correctly. They have built their business around the storm chasing
Okay.
business. So they operate in multiple states. Um, they've got contractors and support systems in place through multiple states.
Okay.
So
So it's
if
feast
anybody's
and
interested,
famine.
a little bit, but apparently they're pretty good at finding the storms and chasing them and being in the right place. And for what they've got the company listed at, they must have figured out some kind of a system.
Well, I had a client in business for 24 years by the time I met him, and he was stuck under a glass ceiling of $2 million because he couldn't find enough people to fulfill the work. And he
Mm,
always outsold what he could do. And he had, core group of people in the company, and he had a revolving door. So people would come in, the existing people would treat the new people like shit. They would leave, and he couldn't see this, right?
oh wow.
Even the owners treated new people like crap. The way they talked about him, oh, I'm great. My employees love me. Yeah, just because you buy coffee every Friday and you take them to paintball once a year, that's not love. You know,
No.
just because you overpay them, that's not love, right? So,
Mm,
anyways, we fixed that problem. Um, And what the day that I met him, I saw a lot of burnt out in his face. So I said, the first thing we should do is get this business to, the 2.5, $3 million level, sell the company because there's no way I can get rid of the burnout, right?
Yeah.
Now he's going to do $5 million this year, and he doesn't want to sell. So, so I slashed my own throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're too good at what you do.
So what is it you're known for? Where did you get your training from? Did you work with any of the top consulting companies or?
I have, yes. So I work with a business coaching consulting company that provides training and support for business coaches. So my background is actually in music.
Okay.
My teaching position was eliminated, so I started working for a financial services company in Des Moines. And that's where I got my training and education in business and finance and economics. So then from there started moving into small businesses because I was concerned about the number of baby boomers that were going to step away from small businesses and what that would do to the communities they were operating in.
Okay. Um, so what is the main product that gives you the wow factor that says, this guy Daniel knows what he's talking about? What's your first project that you go to?
I have a business opportunity audit software that I use. So I sit down with the business owner, and in 45 minutes, I can uncover opportunity in their business worth $100,000 or more in just 45 minutes.
Okay, is that searching for profit leaks or what's the
Uh,
software
it's
doing?
it's looking for so stopping profit leaks, looking at pricing and profit margins, all that kind of stuff is part of the software. But then we're also looking at front end opportunities, so marketing and sales strategies that they're overlooking, as well as operations fulfillment. So it's the entire client journey through their business, and just
Okay.
looking for strategies that they've overlooked.
Okay.
So in 45 minutes, I usually look for one of the top 12 strategies that most small businesses are overlooking.
Okay.
And a lot of times it is on pricing, and they're not paying attention to their profit margins. But
Okay.
beyond that, then it does start to get a little bit into marketing and converting their leads into clients.
Okay.
Follow
Follow up. Yeah. What's that?
up. Exactly.
Yeah. Or the one that I love is no one compares budgeted to actual,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and let's just get this job done. Let's get to the next one. And 20 years go by, they're losing their shirts and you know,
Or in small business, did they even budget?
Yeah, that's the other problem. So this software, are you entering their financial data to get that information?
We begin with a baseline. Yeah. So we start with annual revenue and profit margin numbers as a baseline. And then we attempt to do our best. And there are so many assumptions that are built into it, Leo. But what else can you do? You look at a strategy in the business and then try to project what you think the outcome is going to be. So we just kind of take a stab at it. If we did this strategy in your business and it brought in a new client every month over a year's time, what do you think that the impact would be to your business? And then what the software does is it calculates the best bang for the buck, so to speak. It prioritizes the strategies, comes up with an implementation plan,
Okay.
says this is what I think you should do first, then second, then third, because the strategies build on each other.
Okay. Does the software print out charts and graphs?
It does.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And it gives us a starting point. And then with the implementation, of course, you run into things, and implementation is not such a nice, neat, cut and dried kind of a plan. You have to make adjustments as you go. And so that's where I come in.
Okay. And how do you typically work with your clients? Do you schedule calls once a week? Do you meet with them face to face?
I like to work with them one-on-one. So we do schedule calls weekly. Um, I meet with well, I've got some clients across the country, so sometimes it's Zoom. But yeah, there's definitely something to be said to showing up on site and doing a walkthrough and realizing, oh, we have
Yeah,
some other problems here you didn't tell me about over the phone.
yeah. I used to average 5 flights a week all
Wow.
over North America before COVID.
Hmm.
Some weeks I had 11 flights,
Wow.
like crisscrossing North America. But I loved that shit. I really loved that lifestyle. I really did. I mean, I was burning out. I mean,
Yeah.
I was burnt out, and I haven't flown since then. So yeah, I was burning out.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed, the lifestyle, the adrenaline rush,
Hmm.
meeting new people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Nice.
Hmm. Um, I'm curious about the software. I used to have software like that, and it was basically a spreadsheet type software
Hmm.
that you punch in the numbers and it spits out. You click on the charts and graphs you want, and it was a
Hmm.
great presentation tool. Um, may I ask what the software is, or is it available to me, or
It is not. So I do license it through the group that I got my training and everything through. It's set up like an interview style. So I would sit back and I would interview you about business. We'd talk about this strategy. I'd interview you on are you using this strategy in your business currently? How well do you think you're implementing that strategy? And there's some guided questions that go along with that.
I see.
And then we would input what we think the potential impact would be to the business. So yeah, I'd be happy at some point if you'd like. We could pull that up on the screen. I could show that to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
schedule a call. I'd like to see
Okay. Okay.
how it works and how it could help me.
Yeah.
Um, doing everything manually is okay because they can see the process of doing the calculations and they can see why the profit leaks are what they are.
Hmm.
But having robust charts and graphs could save me a lot of time, could save my assistant a lot of time as well.
Sure.
So yeah, I would love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but seeing it and working with it, um, if I can't work with it, I'm wondering what's the point of seeing it.
Oh, well, it would be something if you wanted to, Leo. And so I'm not trying to recruit you at all here. I'm just telling you what I do. So I work with a coaching group called Focused for business coaches, and they have the software. And so if you became a coach through Focused, then you would have access to that software.
I see.
Yes.
And what's the fee like to join Focused?
Uh, 9.97 a month.
Okay.
And I know that there are coaches that work with businesses all the way from startup. They specialize in the 5 to 6 figure range. Some of them do work with businesses that are in the range that you work with. So there are business coaches in all ranges all around the world. And what I love about it is there's enough flexibility to use the tools and the system that they provide, but build your own business. And there is no coach in Focused who has a business that resembles any other coach. It's fascinating to me. Unlike say Action Coach, where every Action Coach franchise resembles every other Action Coach franchise.
Okay. All right. I've got another call in three and a
Sure.
half minutes. But yes, please schedule another call
Okay.
and think about whether, this CEO club that I mentioned is something that
Yeah.
might help you.
Yeah, that does sound intriguing. I'd be curious to sit in on one to see what it's like.
Yeah. Well, let me know. I
Okay.
can probably
Okay.
send you an invitation to this Friday.
Okay.
I believe it's a medical company that's coming in this Friday.
Okay.
But a pleasure talking to you. Let's talk again soon.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, Daniel. Bye.
Yep. Have a great day.